Since I am in Taipei in Taiwan currently, I thought I'm gonna share the story how I dated a Taiwanese girl many years ago, and this is the only, or was the only, Taiwanese girl I dated for a few months. And I remember I was working as a chef at the time in Malaysia. I was sitting in my office one late afternoon, I think it was around 5 p.m. or something like that, and suddenly my boss, also a German guy, came into my office and told me, or rather asked me, "Hey chef, let's go to our pub." And we had a pub at our hotel, kind of an Irish pub thing, you know. And he said, "Let's go to the pub." I said, "Why? It's 5 p.m. in the afternoon. I have a bunch of stuff still to take care of." He said, "Forget about that. There are two Taiwanese chicks in the pub, and I just hung out with them already, and I thought you follow me, and we take care of them." So, you know, I didn't need to be invited. So I went with my boss to the pub, and then there were sitting two Taiwanese girls. The one girl, her name was Lolita, believe it or not. Her nickname, you know, she had a real Chinese name or Taiwanese name, but they always, most of the girls, they give themselves nicknames, you know, easier to pronounce and to remember for the Western people. So her name was Lolita. She was sitting there at the bar. I was taking my seat next to her. My boss introduced me to her, obviously, and my boss was talking to the other Taiwanese girl. Both girls were friends from Taipei, and they spent, I think, a week at our resort hotel. They were on holiday. So I got talking with Lolita. She was, let's say, she was not a 10, definitely not, but she was attractive enough for me. So we got talking, and I had a drink, I remember, but somehow this whole thing was boring, you know. It was not really exciting, I remember. And I was about to finish my drink, and I wanted to go back to my office because I found it boring. No real interesting conversation, nothing. But then I ordered another drink, I remember, and then suddenly things got started and ignited somehow between us. Chemistry got going, very funny, entertaining conversation. We kind of clicked, and then basically, I don't know, I don't remember clearly, but I think the rest of the evening I spent there in the pub. Of course, I settled my stuff in the office and just made a round through the kitchen one more time. But then, I don't know, we ended up, me and my boss with the two Taiwanese girls, hanging out in this pub until 9 or 10 p.m. maybe. And then my boss got this funny idea, okay, let's go to one of our beach villas, you know, which are actually reserved for our guests only. But this beach villa was empty, so we had to walk alongside the beach, maybe for a few hundred meters. And by the way, before I forget to mention, this is the area where I'm staying. Very nice, very cute, very cozy. A lot of street food here. Now it's still closed. It's early in the morning. It's 8:30, but we have a lot of restaurants here, street food. They open up for lunch, but it's bustling in the evening hours. All this, you can buy a typical Taiwanese street food. It's great, really interesting stuff. You must try when you are in Taiwan. This place here, I don't know the name of the district, but it's very near to the Taipei main station, yeah, the train station and everything. And yeah, it's very centrally located, so very, very good. And also affordable hotels here in this area. So anyway, so my boss got this idea, let's go take the two chicks and head for our beach villa there a few hundred meters away. So that's what we did. Along the way we were walking on the beach, and I was making up with this girl then already, with Lolita. Everything happened very fast. She seemed to be in a good mood, holiday mood. Of course, these girls were in holiday mood also. They were alone, they traveled alone, no boyfriends, no partners, no nothing. And we made out, and then we went to the beach villa, had a little pool party there, a private pool party. It's crazy actually. It was crazy because we were not allowed to do it. My boss, he was not the general manager, he was just the director of food and beverage, but he was a crazy guy. He was as crazy as me, although he was like 20 years older than me. But we didn't care, we had a good time, a little private pool party there at the beach villa. And long story short, I slept in Lolita's room this night in the hotel. I also was not allowed to do it technically as an employee, to sleep in a guest room with another guest, but I didn't care for what. So, and the next day she spent at my apartment. So the day came, she had to leave, go back to Taiwan, to Taipei. By the way, she was an English teacher, so her English was very well. So communication was not a problem at all. And they went back to Taiwan, but we stayed in touch. I think it was maybe September or something like that, around the time. And we stayed in touch, and I also told her that in November I actually wanted to go home to Germany visiting my mom, because also to celebrate her birthday in November. She knew that. So Lolita made plans very quickly and spontaneously to visit me in Berlin in November. She bought a ticket all by herself. She made all her flight arrangements, travel arrangements, and lo and behold, believe it or not, in November when I touched down in Berlin, she was already there in Berlin. Also booked a hotel near to my place. So very smart girl. She managed everything by herself, you know, figured everything out in Berlin, the hotels and this and that. Amazing. So, and of course we had a good time in Berlin. I also remember introducing her to my mom and stuff like that. And then then I had to go back to Malaysia. She still was in Berlin. And then somehow we lost touch and contact. This is how I remember it. Her story kind of took a weird turn because, as I just mentioned, we lost contact. Probably I was not interested in her anymore. I knew she was into me more than I was into her. But I just assume I wasn't really interested, otherwise I would have kept in touch with her. But anyway, about 8 or 9 years later, I was in touch with her again, and then at this time she was really weird story. She was then married already to a Pakistani American, having 1 or 2 children already, but living in Pakistan. And I remember we had a phone call and she complained she was suffering. She was not in a good situation because she was like, she told me she got stuck in Pakistan. She is not allowed to leave the country. Her husband, I think he was a Muslim and very weird. I don't even know or knew at the time how this gorgeous girl could end up in the hand of a Pakistani Muslim American, now living in Pakistan, basically locked up in the house. I couldn't fathom this at the time. Yeah, she just told me her husband is a Pakistani American, so her first child was born on the land or in the land in America. So, and the second baby was on the way. I don't remember. Anyway, it's of minor importance here, but I just wanna complete the whole picture. And we lost contact again, unfortunately. I mean, in the rare case that you, Lolita, watch this video, please get in touch with me again. I wanna know how you are, and the story I shared here, I think is okay. These things happen. Young people get together, they like each other, and then have some fun. And I was actually surprised to conclude the story now, how fast that went with these Taiwanese girls. I hooked up with Lolita, and Lolita's friend, her girlfriend, basically hooked up with my boss. And so that was basically a holiday fling, yeah, but we kept in touch and we kind of had a relationship for a few months, but it ended because of I was not interested in her, really. So question is, how are Taiwanese girls in general? Are they more easy or easygoing? Are they easier to hook up with than regular Chinese girls? I heard stories like that of other people who dated Taiwanese girls, and this is where you come into play, my dear friends, viewers and guys, to share your opinion about it, because I sometimes get requests, you know. By the way, this is the Peace Park here I'm walking through. A very nice park, by the way. And you have to be careful of these black little mosquitoes here in Taiwan. They're only here in Taiwan. They're very nasty biters. Yeah, I'm suffering already from all these little mosquitoes bites. These mosquitoes are so small you don't even notice them. They're really nasty, you know. Anyway, yeah, this is where you come into play. Because I receive requests, or have been receiving requests from guys, hey, tell us about your dating experience with Japanese girls and Korean girls and Chinese girls. I've dated a few Chinese girls. I've done a video also about that. I released this video already. I never dated Koreans or Japanese girls. But I dated a Taiwanese girl. I don't want to say Chinese because, you know, Taiwan is Taiwan for me and China is China. Obviously they're culturally related, yeah, but let's call them the Taiwanese girls. So I hear stories that some guys who dated Taiwanese girls or dated around in China or Hong Kong say, yeah, the Taiwanese girls actually are pretty open-minded and easygoing. And again, I just dated one, but I would tend to say the same and to do the same claim. Now being here in Taipei in Taiwan for the first time, yeah, my reason for coming here is not to hook up with Taiwanese chicks, you know. I have a friend here, an Indonesian friend who works here, and I will visit. I'm visiting her right now. And by the way, yes, I'm single again. Some of you guys also asked, hey, what are all these videos about there? Seems you are single again. Oh, you told us you have a girlfriend, how come? Hey, easy guys, shit happens. Yes, I'm single again and I'm dating again, but more about that and more on that in one of my next videos. I will shed some light on the mystery, okay? But now you know, I'm single again, I'm and ready to mingle, and that's what I'm doing, right? And I will talk about this in a different video. But anyway, I'm not here to hook up with Taiwanese girls. What I noticed by walking around, Taiwan is a very westernized country. Also a strong influence by Japan. You can see this by walking around, the culture, especially young people, how they dress, the fashion and all that stuff. Because Taiwan used to be it was occupied by Japan for many decades, right? So yeah, English, I don't know. I think the Taiwanese youth, also the younger girls, they speak English somehow, so communication shouldn't be a problem here in Taiwan. But in general, I would also say that dating, hooking up with Taiwanese girls, especially in cities like Taipei, is not impossible. Yeah? And one should give it a try, especially when you live here. I mean, if you live here anyway, or you have lived in Taipei, then you know better than me. But what I see from walking around and observing people, also seeing some expats walking with Taiwanese girls, sometimes, who knows, maybe they are just tourists also, or coming from other places, but I assume these are Taiwanese girls. In general, I would say Taiwan is also a good place to give it a try in terms of dating Taiwanese women, at least, yeah, to try it out. They're a little bit more westernized here in general. English, I think, yes, they do speak, the younger folks. It's not like in China where nobody speaks English. I don't know now, but 20 years ago it was a disaster. It was terrible. Communication sucked. I dated one girl from Guangdong province at the time, 20 years ago. Look at this beautiful temple. No English, nothing. It was a horror. It was a disaster. Not her fault, not my fault. But you need communication. So, and the girls here really seem to be a little bit more open-minded also towards Westerners and Western culture. We all know about the strong ties between Taiwan and the United States. Yesterday, when I was strolling around the city during the nighttime, I was sitting down having my snack. Next to me sat a Chinese, Taiwanese, whatever you want to call it, looking young woman. And I thought she was a Taiwanese. And then a few moments later, two of her friends approached her, also Chinese looking, Taiwanese looking. And they spoke American English. And I was surprised, So you never know here in Taiwan. Maybe these were tourists from America, Taiwanese heritage, I don't know. Originally, maybe immigrants, their parents immigrated to the States and now they visited Taipei, I don't know. So Taipei is international, and yeah, overall I think if I would be interested to, let's say, date Chinese girls, Chinese looking women, I mean, at the end of the day, Taiwanese are Chinese also. I'm just saying this out of respect here. But definitely I would come back if I wanted to date Taiwanese women here. Because I had a good experience at the time with Lolita. Although, of course, she was in a holiday mood and all that stuff. But we kept it going for a few months, afterwards. So I had a good impression of Taiwanese, at the time, of Taiwanese women. Very open-minded, easygoing, and wanting to have fun. And I think in general you also could say that, I repeat myself, but anyway, that this is the case also in general with the people here. A little bit more accommodating to Western guys, With that being said, I'm checking out for the day. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. I want to know your opinion about Taiwanese women. And if you have never been here, you should come. It's a beautiful country. I only have time to stay in Taipei because my friend is here, but a lot of culture, especially the nature I see. I was flying into Taipei the other day. I saw the nature a lot. It's a very green country, mountains. It's a beautiful country, what I know, what I researched, And also the people here, before I leave, I wanted to say, in the first day when I was walking around, the people here seem to make a depressed impression on me. I don't know why. Kind of a little bit a negative, depressed impression, but I don't know what really the matter is. This is just the vibe I got. But all I can say is the people here definitely are way more relaxed than Singaporeans or Hong Kong Chinese. they are more humble and they do their own thing and they don't care so much about money and other stuff. For sure, Taiwanese people also care about money. They need to work, they need to earn money because Taipei is expensive, you know. But the general vibe I get of the people or from the people here is very pleasant, relaxed people, humble, not so crazy, hectic, money, rushing like Hong Kong. I mean, I just came from Hong Kong, you know. Hong Kong is, I mean, Taipei, you cannot compare Taipei with Hong Kong or Singapore. It doesn't come even close. Taipei actually has the charm of a, I don't know, a large city in the province. Sorry to say that, and maybe some Taipei people now will want to hang me for that, but it's a good vibe. It's not so hectic, so chaotic, and of course Taipei is also not so modern like, let's say, Singapore. You know, it has its own energy, but it's also not the new. I mean, the buildings are not the newest ones. You know, you can see when you look at the buildings, or when you look at Hong Kong is in some areas even worse than even some, I don't know, a city in some Eastern European countries, you know. But the people here are very relaxed and cool. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. So open-minded also. It's a very good vibe I get from the Taiwanese people here. This is my impression. So everybody who wants to come here, I suggest and urge you to come here, to give it a try, to have a look around, get the Taiwan vibe, date a bunch of girls here if you want and can, and then I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care. Bye bye. 谢谢。